all you need to know. The Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business.
Brought to you by Small Cases. Invest in ready-made portfolios created by professionals.
Good morning and happy Monday to you. You're listening to the Daily Morning Update from Bloomberg Quint and I'm Alex Matthew. Today is the 4th of November. Here's everything that you need to know at the start of the week. Let's start first with the international news. In the U.S., Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross has expressed optimism that the U.S. will reach a Phase 1 trade deal with China this month and said that licenses will be coming very shortly for American companies to sell components to Huawei Technologies. President Donald Trump told reporters on Sunday at the White House that a trade agreement, if one is completed, would be signed somewhere in the U.S. Meanwhile, on Friday, Labor Department data showed that U.S. jobs rose by 128,000, which is more than expected. There was also an upward revision in last month's number, which now stands at an increase of 180,000. The jobless rate edged up to 3.6% from a half-century low. Now, Federal Reserve Vice Chairman Richard Clarida, after the strong jobs numbers, reinforced the central bank's new message that interest rates are on hold, saying that both monetary policy and the U.S. economy are in a good place, though some risks remain. In news back home, Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Jio Infocomm opposed any move by the government to provide financial relief to rival telecom operators, which have been ordered to pay nearly $7 billion in past dues, saying they had adequate recourse to raise funds. Bharti Airtel can easily raise 40,000 crore rupees by selling some of its assets or shares, while Vodafone India has no dearth of resources to pay the government its dues, Reliance Jio said in a statement issued on Sunday. The letter addressed to India's telecom minister comes after a government panel agreed to examine Bharti and Vodafone's demand for reducing the spectrum usage levies and the Universal Service Obligation Fund charge. In more news in telecom, Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad has directed BSNL and MTNL to implement VRS guidelines quickly and initiate proactive measures to monetize assets in a time-bound manner while making it clear that they need to become more aggressive in the telecom market. That's a PTI report. In news in the IT space, 4 IT companies including TCS and Wipro are in the fray to manage and operate the business analytics project of India's insurance sector regulator IRDAI. We'll bring you more updates once we get them. In the auto space, Maruti Suzuki India remains cautiously optimistic over sales prospects going forward, as many of the challenges that led to slowdown in the auto industry still exist, according to a senior company official who spoke to PTI. The company, which posted growth in domestic passenger vehicle sales after 7 months in October, said it would take at least a few more months to get clarity on whether the industry is finally starting to recover and is going to turn a corner. In international news, Saudi Aramco may be worth only about $1.5 trillion or maybe even less, according to research sent on Sunday to potential investors by the banks involved in the company's initial public offering. That's well below the $2 trillion target set by the kingdom. The research, according to multiple investors who reviewed it, suggests that the banks are struggling to pinpoint a precise valuation for Aramco. The IPO process officially started yesterday with the company filing a so-called intention to float document. The stock is likely to start trading in Riyadh in December. In Hong Kong, at least 200 people were arrested as protesters seeking greater democracy and police accountability blocked roads, vandalized public facilities, and satellite exits of subway stations, the unrest lasting all weekend. On Saturday, police fired multiple rounds of tear gas and deployed water cannons on demonstrators who built barricades across busy streets, including a highway, and threw flaming objects in the Wan Chai neighborhood. Petrol bombs were also thrown. In international markets, U.S. stocks ended sharply higher on Friday after the positive jobs data. The three averages all gained 1% or more. Only two of the three early risers were trading in Asia this morning, and they were both positive. With that, it's over to Darshan for the trade setup for the day in India. Good morning, Darshan. How are we looking this week?
Hi Alex, good morning. Good morning everyone. The global cues are strong. The US markets ended with a positive bias. Japan is shut today, but the SGX Nifty is indicating a positive outlook. In terms of results today, HDFC is the only Nifty result today, but among the other results there is Bharat Electronics, Canfin Homes, Care Rating, Varun Beverages, Godrej Agrovet, Persistent System, SRF and Sudarshan Chemicals. In terms of results announced, Yes Bank, the NII was in line with estimate, but there was this big loss which missed estimates with weakening asset quality. They reported a net loss of 600 crores on account of a one-time DTA adjustment. The bank revised the FY20 credit cost guidance to 250 basis points from the earlier 125 basis points, and the pain will continue given the upward revision in the BB and below, which is the stressed pool. The bank believes that the bad loan recognition phase is largely over, and the bank highlighted multiple capital raising options, but the street now sees the need to see them fructify. JK Lakshmi Cement results were above estimates. The revenue gained 10% despite marginal fall in its volume. Lower power and transportation cost aided the margin. The management cited softening of fuel prices and optimizing the product mix for the margin gain, and the current capacity stands at 11.7 million ton. V-Mart retail revenues grows 20%. It reported a positive EBITDA in the second quarter due to Ind AS. The net loss widened due to higher finance and depreciation costs. The average bill size grew 13% and the average selling price was up 16%. Lower discounting aided the gross margin by 200 basis points, but the same store sale growth was low at 1% due to the general macroeconomic slowdown as per the management. Central Bank of India, the NII is up 13%. They reported a profit compared to a loss last time around, and lower provisioning aided the bank becoming profitable. The asset quality was stable. Escorts, they reported weak financials with revenue and operating profit falling. The net profit was aided by lower tax expense. There was also an exceptional loss of 9 crore. The agri machinery and construction division showed a degrowth while railway grew, and BEML reported weak financial numbers on with drop in revenues and reporting a loss. The higher raw material cost dented the operating performance. In terms of auto sales number, Hero, the October auto sales number were down 19% to 5.99 lakh versus the BQ estimate of 6.25 lakh units. Tata Motors, the October domestic sales were down 32% at 39,152 versus the Bloomberg Quint estimate of 42,500. India Bulls Real Estate says that they have sold the London property to the promoters for £200 million. Alchem Labs says that the US FDA has closed the inspection of its manufacturing facility in Daman and Baddi within EIR. Coal India, weak production. Production was down 20%. Offtake was down 19%. Ashok Leyland has said they will observe non-working days from anywhere between 0 to 12 days during the month of November. And Jyoti Lab, the promoter, sold in 4.22% stake in the company. UTI Mutual Fund and Reliance Mutual Fund were two of the buyers that was listed on the block deals. But there's much more you need to know before trade actually starts. For that, log on to our website, bloombergquint.com, and click on the All You Need to Know tab, and you will be prepared for morning trade.
Thanks, Darshan. Well, that's all we have for you on this podcast. But as always, there's a lot more on the website, bloombergquint.com. So don't forget to check it out. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day and an even better week ahead.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you will enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma. Or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.